Hi guys, Ethereal Awakening here, doing individual zodiac sign readings. This one's for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check your North Node. I'm starting these videos out with an apology. My prior readings, I had said I did not want to make romantic relationships the sole focus of them. And to some extent that's true, but I'm going to begin doing you and them readings. Who you are as the energy that presents itself is your intuitive guess, and then who they are, who the energy remaining, and then also what dynamic that relationship is. It may not be a romantic relationship. I know that there's a lot of romantic relationships out there that are causing people to seek out, the self-discovery. So to be so exclusory myself is only limiting the amount of information that Spirit can work through me. So I'm doing you and them, and then your intuition can guide you if the message is for you or not. So I'm going to start off with 2 oracle cards for the overarching energies of you and them, and then pull some tarot to further deepen the story. And then you can be the intuitive guide that goes beyond that. So, let's get into this one. Virgo. Alright. So, awakening. On his knees. Hands up. Lit up. And I will read from the book because this is still a very new deck to me, but I'm giving, my intuitive input also. And then we've got healing. Beautiful cards, both of them. So, with the awakening card, somebody's awakening. Somebody's coming into their power. Somebody's recognizing that what they used to be doing sucks. I was just talking about this to God just a minute ago, because I talk to God very frequently. It's what I do when I talk to myself. I commune with God. However, it's like I am loving the amount of awakening that goes on right now. It's kind of like, somebody looks at you and goes, I don't want to do this shit anymore. Do you? No, let's not do this shit anymore. Okay. Like, that's what's going on, is there's a bunch of people realizing they don't want to do this shit anymore. This dude looks like he doesn't want to do that shit anymore. He wants to do something new. Healing is the other energy. So, the awakening card reads from the book as such. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. You are one with all creation. There is no other. Let this truth guide your actions. I'm going to read that one more time. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. You are one with all creation. There is no other. Let this truth guide your actions. This is where we recognize we encompass all. I know that at first I thought my last relationship was like, oh, he's a narcissist. Everybody's a narcissist. To be in a relationship with a narcissist, you have to be a narcissist. It's a sliding scale. Frequency. When you recognize how frequency and energy works, to one varying, the yin and yang, to one varying degree that he was overtly a narcissist, I was covertly narcissistic to myself. While he was overtly narcissist to those around him, I was covertly narcissistic to myself. So recognizing that I encompassed that same energy that he was just more blazing with it. He could just be out and proud with it, where I was only in the shadows of myself, doing it to myself. And then to the same degree, it's encompassing the all. Recognizing that we encompass everything. We are part of the creator. We are the creator and the created, co-creating. And then the healing card I can know my alphabet, which I know H is before. I know that. I know this. And I just looked at knowing. All right, there it is. Rest in the light. It is active. You need not be. Every cell in your body, every rent in your soul is thus repaired. Allow yourself to be healed. So right away, someone in this energy dynamic, Virgo, is coming into the buddings of what it means to be part all of the all. To be all of the all. Part all of the all. If that makes sense. While the other one is at a level of healing. Maybe to come into that, or maybe after recognizing that. There's always healing around the awakening. So again, this is kind of like follow the leader. I don't know whether you guys are in, together or not, but we're going to pull some tarot and see how far this goes. All right. Virgo, heart space, 3 of Pentacles. So that's kind of following suit. Whoever is having this awakening, who's recognizing this connectedness, is recognizing it in their heart. This is all coming together. All is exactly as it should be. Nothing in God's world happens by mistake. In the recent past, I've got the 7 of Pentacles. And that's looking around you. And this 7 of Pentacles, his face is so tired. I'm tired of getting these results. But recognizing that you were part of those results. This would be the awakening card in the tarot, the Hanged Man. And this is in the future position under the awakening. So currently and in the future, this person is entering into the awakening, starting to see their role, their part, how they play a part in their own lives, in their own cycles. The hard work that they've put into things is equal to the results internally. What you see externally in results are the same equivocal results that you've done internally. Once you've met yourself internally, once you see the connectedness, feel the connectedness, once all 5 of your senses are in the connectedness, then you can expand outside those 5. And this person that is in this energy of awakening is recognizing that right now, and will be for a while. It's a long process. I began physically actively as an adult working on my spiritual, 2011. And then as my last initiation, which was just 6 months ago, I recognized, that all your lives are just a progression to reach back up to where we came from. The healing energy has the Knight of Swords in the heart space. So I want to say this person is really, you're maybe being hard on yourself because the healing energy is there. Like saying some things telling yourself some things, some truths, learning some truths. All necessary to facilitate the healing that is being asked of you right now, or them. The Page of Swords is in the recent past. So this might have been communication between you and this person that was maybe not the most tactful. And now as you're sitting with that information, or this person is, there's this need for healing. Because although there's a lot of truth in hurtful words, just because they're tactlessly delivered doesn't mean they're not true. And I think that the person that's requiring the healing was probably triggered by a lot of the tactless exchanges of words between you two. So these words have affected you. They've affected this other person too. This other person is reflecting over what has manifested in their life, and it's causing their awakening. The other person may already be awake and is reflecting on conversations and words exchanged. I mean, knights are battle ready. So I almost want to say that this is not a time for you to start lashing back out at this person. If you are still in contact with this other person, this isn't a battle of the wits. There's healing that is required. If you're the other position, I would not, and this person comes at you with more of what seems like hurtful words, because you're going through this way, you still might be a little raw. So, take what they're saying with a grain of salt. A lot of it is internal reflection that's being projected on you. And the future position is the Magician. This sometimes can represent manipulation. And because that healing card is the current energy, with all this mental energy going, if I'm speaking to a Virgo that's actually going through an awakening and recognizing your part in what this relationship dynamic is, please be mindful of the other person coming through with more tactlessly delivered truth, because a lot of that tactlessly delivered truth is simply inner projecting on you. Even if it's about you, don't let them be the judge of what your measure is. They might be a little manipulative. If this is your energy, that healing that is needed is a heart healing. Because what's going to get manifested is more tactless and hasty speech when we never mind this healing that needs to go. The Moon card, there's fear that's shared, the energy shared between the two of you. That's what's crowning the both of you, is fear and uncertainty. And so I'm guessing whoever's the awakening energy, I believe because you are awakening, you'll have the presence of mind to know what's unknown to the other, is that they just need to heal. So there might be some exchanges that are sharp-tongued, and it's just this emotional manipulation that they're used to doing. I'm going to pull 2 cards as the resolution between the two of you. Oh, there's one. The Ten of Swords. Virgo, this relationship needs to have time. I mean, that Ten of Swords is right there in between you two. The greatest act of love is walking away. so they can heal and you can go through your healing, your awakening process that you're going through, or vice versa. This fear that's crowning the whole reading, that's residing in both of you, you won't resolve it until you're individually healed and awakened. And the Justice card is the last resolution. The greatest act of love is walking away, Virgo. And when I see the Ten of Swords above the Justice card, one of you has to do the fair thing. Create more karma. Create more negative karma. Staying in a relationship where you just spit out things that are hurtful. When one of you was recognizing this cycle and is tired of what comes together, wants to come out of it, wants to awaken past the fear, and one of you is just mulling over these hurtful words. I mean, they're in your heart. They're in their heart, one of the two of you. And I mean, I've been there. Those hurtful words that just, you can just sit and mull on them and mull and mull and mull. And next thing you know, you've got emotional ammo. Well, you didn't do it, and you did that. Well, remember when you did it? This magician can be very silver-tongued. There's the infinity symbol above his head. I've been through this with you before. This resolution says that there might be some time apart needed to do some healing. That's not to say that you can't come back together. That's not to say, this does not have to be a romantic relationship again. But if it is, really going into your heart space and realizing that the karma that is created through nasty words exchanged is internal karma for them also. The more nasty, negative things that they get to spit at you, the more they have to mull over for the future, and that gives them more ammo, and then they're constantly in that cycle of remorse, regret, blame, shame, and guilt. Even for what they've done. They may act like they are, but they all are. In that small, still voice in their head, they regret being hateful, nasty, and mean. But this is a cycle that they're just requires healing. So one of you has to, and I'm going to lean on the one going through this awakening, that the fear can be alleviated by walking through it, by recognizing that a temporary ending, this is a 10 because it has to go back to 1, can create a new honest beginning. But this healing is very necessary so that we can create good karma individually first, not keep the cycle of negative karma going. One of you has to recognize the greatest act of love is walking away, first for love of self, and then recognizing that when you love yourself so much that you don't want this cycle, it no longer gives them a personal remorse, regret, blame, shame, and guilt to sit on in their own infinite cycle. I hope this has helped, Virgo.